Hi everybody, this is Julissa. Thank you so much everybody for coming back to my channel. Thank you so much to everybody who listens in the podcast. It is Wednesday, June 12th, 2024. I'm here to speak about a story that I saw that has been trending. It's very shocking to me. Somewhat shocking. Not really. Usually we see things like this happen. We know that there is a hidden agenda that has been trying to reach the children, specifically reaching the schools and reaching the young age kids. And we have seen this happen for the past couple of years, even more advanced. I had come here and spoken about things, certain toys that we saw that are being sold to children. Also, I think it was last year, there was a campaign by a big fast food restaurant that was also using a demonic theme, you know, type of promotion, right? To, how, what's the need to use demonic theme to promote a sandwich? I don't know. But those are the things of the enemy. And then, what I'm going to speak about is another situation that is targeting the children, right? Also, the store, one of the big chain stores, you guys probably know which one I'm talking about. And I have to be careful though here saying names and things like that, just so that they don't black this video. But we know what they celebrate this month of June, right? In June, there is a big campaign that has been celebrated since our last, well, maybe when it became official, I guess you can say, the marriages. And it has been celebrated ever since in June. And during this month, there's a lot of big companies who join in this whole celebration. You guys probably know already what I'm talking about. And we have seen this happen. There's such a big push for that. But please, guys, don't ever forget when there are certain, companies and there are certain influencers and YouTubers, once they reach that point where you see them everywhere, there's also a reason, there's also a society that they have joining hands with, that if they don't follow along the plan, they get in trouble for that. So always be aware what you're letting into your house. Just because it's popular doesn't mean that it's the right thing to do, right? Here we are once again, another big famous content creator, you can say educator. She began her career as a teacher for many years, and then she started doing videos, and she's everywhere, right? For the past couple years, she has been everywhere. There's millions of video, and another platform that we see where kids, they just hear her voice and they're basically hypnotized by her voice, and they turn immediately and they want to know where she is, where she at, and they want to see her and things like that. It's almost like when I see things like that, how every child reacts to her voice, it makes me think about hypnotism. It makes me think about flattery. It's almost something odd about it, because guys, not even an artist can achieve something like that. When you hear like your favorite song, your favorite artist doing an interview, and like, maybe if you're in the mood, you're like, oh, I want to see that, what is he talking about? And then some days it's like, I'm so sick of it, I don't want to hear it. But there's something with this lady that I don't, I'm not bashing her, nothing like that, but it makes you wonder what it is with her, that there's so many kids, especially the non-verbal kids yet, the kids that don't even speak yet, the very, toddlers, right? The crawling babies. Yeah, I don't even know how to describe it. They just hear her voice and they immediately want to see her. Like, they don't even turn like that for their own parents. So it makes me wonder what is going on here, right? And the reason that I'm mentioning all of that, you guys already know by now who I'm speaking about, and is her name is Ms.Rachel, very famous, very well known, and she has a very good story of success and achieving her goals, right? So last week she got some type of setback from a lot of her fans saying that they're not gonna, they're gonna unfollow her, whatever. They're gonna watch her videos or something because she's definitely somewhat pushing this whole celebration that happens usually in June. She's celebrating this whole community that is usually celebrated in June. And it's almost like, really, why are we even surprised? We knew that was coming, right? Because when it comes to pushing in the agenda, they're gonna pick the people who have the most influence, right? And if you have an agenda that is targeting the young kids, like this lady is, her voice comes on, and every child you've seen the videos, they're trending videos on TikTok. They turn immediately. Like I said, they don't even turn like that when they hear their mom's voice. Even at that young age, that's basically all they know. They know their dad's voice, whoever's in the home, like full time with them, right? And they will turn immediately, but then they hear this lady's voice saying someone like hypnotism, and they turn right away. And let me just tell you something, that police, we're entering the last days. We're definitely there. You can feel it, and you know that we're right there. Let me tell you, just because somebody says Jesus doesn't mean they're Christ. They're Christ centered, that they believe in the Lord. Because we need to be ready, right? The false prophet, they're gonna say, the Bible says in the last days, they're gonna say, "Look, Jesus over there. Look, Jesus over there," and like people are gonna be running back and forth. It's like, you should be praying for discernment. Ask God for wisdom and discernment. There's a lot of people that when they want something from you, they gotta say, "Oh yes, I believe in the Lord too," praise to God, and they start saying all this Christian lingo, right? That they know is gonna move you somehow. And you have to ask God for discernment, because you have to go beyond the Christian lingo. We all know how to play that game. Like, it's it's so crazy. There is a Christian lingo. People will tell you there is a flattery also, and just throw some Bible verses and say Jesus, and they'll believe you, right? You can just hear, and you know you have to go deeper than that. Remember, at the end of the day, it's all these people that you see that they have big, what do they call it, like the big endorsements, and they're everywhere. They are also a brand. There is a business behind this entity. And if they're gonna lose money by not joining in the celebration in June, you think they're gonna risk all of that? They rather will justify it somehow. Somewhere in there, they're going to justify it, because at the end of the day, behind her, behind everything she has achieved, there is a company that needs to survive, whether she likes it or not. Because once you get to that point that you're so high, you either sell your company and say, "I'm retiring," or you join hands and just follow along the plan. And like I said, when they're trying to reach the young generation, the people, her target audience, they're going to pick the people who are the most influential, somebody like her, right? So let me just read to you this article to give you more understanding what it is that I'm talking about. The backlash against children's YouTuber Ms.Rachel is explained during pink headband and blue overalls. Miss Rachel, aka the internet favorite child educator, starts most of her video by waving excitedly in the camera with her usual greeting, excuse me, "Hi friends." Um, it says here, let me, you know what? I'm gonna read you guys something, um, s- something more, um, that details more about what it is that I'm talking about here, just because that didn't seem to me like that was really explaining it. So here it is, right? Miss Rachel Griffin Arcuso, that's her full name, the social media creator and teacher known as Miss Rachel, is standing firm. Your favorite YouTuber, she's standing firm in her celebration of this month, and we all know what they celebrate in this month, right? She's standing firm on that, right? It's either that or lose the company, basically. Amid public outcry from some conservative parents to boycott her. On Saturday, this happened last week. On Saturday, the preschool teacher said she posted a 25-second video on the first day of the month of June saying that in June they honor I can't even say. I'm sorry. I can there. She basically is standing firm about this whole celebration, saying how this month honors people who are part of this community, of that community, right? That they celebrate in June. Everybody part of that lettering. I don't want to say it because I'm sure they're probably gonna cancel this video. She's saying happy Pride to all of our wonderful families and friends, and she has 10 million subscribers here on YouTube and 2.1 million followers on Instagram. She said, this month and every month I celebrate you, and I'm so glad you are here. I'm glad that you are exactly who you are. So, of course, like I said, right, it usually is like that, somewhere in there, she gets she gets put basically with this dilemma under the table, right? On the table and say, you're basically the number one influential person right now, right? When it comes to this target audience. And you either do that and you have to follow along the plan, or we're just gonna, anything can happen. I don't know how it goes, but all I'm saying, like, it's not surprising to see her celebrating everything that they celebrate in the month of June when it comes to this community. You guys know what I'm talking about. And like I said, I'm not mentioning it because I have to, be careful about that before they cancel this video. But the thing about this Miss Rachel celebrating that and standing firm and yeah, we're gonna call it how it is, and we, every day we celebrate you if you like this, the same sets and whatever, right? The thing about that is like last time I checked, the target audience for Miss Rachel is not people in that age knowledge to even understand what the whole month of this celebration means, right? So, it's like, when you have kids around, even like to the age like 5, there are certain things you don't speak about in front of them because they're not ready to receive it. They're not ready to understand it. So when, as far as I know, Miss Rachel target audience is like babies to like, when they just start walking, right? I don't know the age, right? 1 or 2 years old. As far as I know, I don't really watch her content, but from what I have seen in other platform is that, she basically, that's her target audience, right? Why is she getting involved in this, right? And this is why it has some type of backlash. Of course, nobody really is talking about it because, if you speak about it, then you are against the whole community and you are a hater, and it begins the top, right? You're a hater, and then it turns into like you should be canceled completely, all of that. It makes me wonder, like, why is she even getting involved in this, right? And we know the one of the reasons could be they want to start programming these kids at a very young age because they want to make it seem like it's all normal to do that, right? And you're like, but they don't even understand what that means, right? Why is that? Here we are, another person like her, so adored by so many moms, right? Because you just turn on the TV and that's your babysitter, basically. I mean, the kids are hypnotized by her. Say, like, this is not, that's my opinion. I know people are gonna say she's so nice. That's the whole idea. You have to be careful with all these people. They're always so nice and they tell you what you want to hear, and you're amazing, you're wonderful, like, hi. And they have that voice, the soothsaying voice, and it's like, hello. People play a character too, right? They have a company behind them. They're also, they have to pretend this is who they are. And then, like, years back, years from now, perhaps you might hear them say, oh, she hated every day going to that, right? It's like that's why it was so shocking when we heard about Robin Williams, how he dealt with depression, the funniest man in America. you know Blockbuster movies, selling out theaters, making the whole world laugh, and he would turn home and be depressed. And that's why you have to be so careful. I'm not saying that we are responsible for their emotions, but all I'm saying is, like, all this, I always, as you guys probably know, if you heard me many times, I do have a problem with people that try to flatter you just so that they can control you, manipulate you. That's what it is. When somebody flatters you, they don't even know you. They're just basically trying to manipulate you to get something out of you. It's like those vendors, like years ago, you used to go to the mall and you will be stabbed by a vendor, right? In the kiosk, you will be stabbed by a vendor at the department store trying to spray perfume at you and saying how beautiful you are, of all of this, holding your hand just so that they can get money out of you because they work on commission. This lady has a company. She's going to follow along everything this big company have because she has to play this narrative, and she has to agree with you, because if she doesn't agree, everything is all the hard work is gone, right? All the hard work is gone. And that's what I think it is. Like I said, I do wonder, what is her target audience? Do they even know what pride, like, here I am saying it, do they even know what they really celebrate this month of June? To even come to realization, like, somebody who target audience doesn't even speak yet. A lot of, I think maybe 95% of her target audience is that they don't even they don't even speak yet. How would they even know what that means, right? That she's referring to. Why is she even getting involved? Because she has to follow along. She has to follow along and play the game. And people are like, oh, let's kind of like, what do you expect? Always think about that. And the other thing with her, which is very alarming, I know people love it, and like, let me record my kid every time she hears that voice, she turns immediately. There's something odd with that. There's something odd. It's not normal. Okay, like, kids shouldn't be turning immediately the minute they hear her voice. That, you know what I mean? Like, if they are doing that, they've been watching her for too long, and you need to pay attention as a parent. Like, that's something that you have to pay attention, because there's some type of hypnotism going there. I don't want to call it witchcraft, but it's something similar. I don't know. I know people are gonna come for me and all of that. Always remember, this is just my opinion. I think it's odd that even, if they hear like their mom or dad speaking, they don't even turn like that. You turn on that, that movie, that lady's show, whatever, and they immediately turn. Immediately. How would they even know what they're celebrating? That is her target audience. Why is she even getting involved in this? I think it's because she has to play along the part. She has to play along. She has a big company. There's a lot of people involved behind her. So that's why, she's gonna celebrate all of that. It's just crazy, but usually there's always like a switch. There's usually a switch. If we see it with a lot of pastors too. They begin their ministry and they're called by God, and then out of nowhere they're doing crazy stuff in the church. They're using syrup. They're throwing the Bible across the stage. They're getting male strippers for the men's conference. It's crazy. This is the world we live in right now. Let me know what you guys think about this. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. Have a good day. God bless.